real quick. But sir, it is good to see you. You're coming in for revenue essentials. Is that correct? Will you be here
Correct.
tomorrow, later today?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Awesome. It'll be great to I'll see if I can maybe, I don't know if we can maybe pop over. You know where the event is at? I believe that we're here at the
I think it's at
office. You know?
HQ.
Oh, it is? Okay. Let me
I
see. Maybe
think
we could
so.
pop
Let me
over
just
and see you
double check.
guys.
Let me just double check. Oh my God, I have so many messages.
How many of them are from us?
Huh.
Oh, it is in the HQ. And so is the
4800 North Scottsdale Road.
awesome. No, yeah, we will be there. I'll have to pop over and see you. That'd be awesome. But
Cool.
I was gonna say, wanted to hear some wins. I was looking at the sales tracker, was looking at some of the new guys. Wanted to talk about that. Was seeing some wins on my side, but wanted to hear from you since our conversation. What has
Yeah,
changed
like
in business?
our core guys who have been with us for a while are, doing really good now. So now we're, obviously trying to get the other guys who are new to ramp up and start closing some deals themselves. So the the new guys are, drilling, getting better, but the current guys are ramping up, but the only guy who sucks is Sky. He's the only one who sucks. This month,
Uh,
dude, he only has 6 closes this month. Last month, Jaron closed like a third of his deals. I
I
know
thought
you
that
like him
I
because
thought
he
that
collects the most cash,
I
but
thought
it
that
also results in the most refunds and chargebacks. 25% of every dollar he collects turns into a refund or chargeback.
that's really bad. What I
Terrible.
will say is that I thought that he was fired. I didn't
Oh,
know he was
yeah,
still on.
he's gotta get fired. I think Jaron spoke to him yesterday, told him like, hey, this is it. So I have to confirm what happened.
Understood. Okay. Yeah, no, I was under I think that when we were looking at historical data, he was collecting quite a bit. But obviously that changes things. And then just looking at July, it honestly looks like he's not really in the business doing anything. So I thought he had been fired. But
Yeah,
I'm glad to hear.
he's gonna
Mhm.
get booted very soon.
So one of the things I wanted to ask, looking at your guys' outbound calls that are being made, it looks to me like you had, or the team, at least if I look at like Tim, Rajan, and I believe Luca, was it Luca? Specifically Rajan and Tim, it looks like they are doing a lot more outbound calls right now, and just wanted to hear if you had a conversation reset. If I look at Gusto, he has a ton of outbound calls. Like they all have roughly 70 calls right now per day for the first part of this week. And just wanted to hear if you had a conversation with them about time management and how a process of trying to get clients on the phone. Like what is causing that outbound or increase in outbound call activity?
I just told them to do it a little bit more. Especially like Tim and Luca. I kind of like roasted Luca on it. I kind of gave him like the whole hours thing. Yeah. Oh, wait, you're on mute.
I said yesterday it looks like he called about 19 times, so it'll be good to see how he continues to build and ramp.
Yeah, he needs
Um,
to be doing a lot more than that.
yeah. And so with that being the case, I know that we're getting close to the end of the month and a number of people are below that 50,000. Looks like Sam and Tim are the closest to hitting it, with Rajan close behind. But wanted to hear, is there anything that you guys are really focusing on right now before I start moving into some of the things I wanted to talk with you about? Is there any questions you had or anything from our conversations already that you wanted to discuss?
Um, no, no, I'm open to hearing what you have to suggest. I'm getting ready for this flight. I'm going to be leaving in 4 hours. I'm excited.
No, we're excited to have you, Andrew, and I'll make sure to see if we can pop over to talk to you a little bit as well during that event. But where I want to go is to starting to think about some of the ways that we consolidate this information. And I know that you guys have a lot of trackers, and I was reviewing those today, and I was noticing that the official weekly company tracker, it looks like it may not be being used right now. Is there something that you guys are using to aggregate all of this data? It looks like through June 28th was the last time some of this stuff was used.
Oh, yeah, we have a different one, I think.
Okay. Okay.
I think we're using the KPI tracker. Hold on,
Oh,
let me send
is it the
that to
one that we sent you?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's this one. This
Let
KPI
me
tracker.
log in on my side and see if we have access. If it's maybe you guys duplicated it. Here, let me stop sharing my screen. Can you share your screen, Andrew?
Here, I'm sharing it to you right now. BG Daily KPI tracker.
Okay. I think I got like a couple others, but I don't think I
Check your
have that one.
email.
So I will see when it logs in. But yeah, I wanted to see what metrics you're tracking because there's a new tool that I want to look to potentially recommend to you guys to start aggregating, but be really focused on the cash collections and have this be something that you guys are driving forward with. So I know that I sent over to you the EBR. This is something we would do where we talk about cash flow tracking and looking at how do we build cash on a weekly basis and ensure that we're hitting those targets. This is something that we've rolled out to a number of clients and found a lot of success with, specifically when we're not hitting sales targets. And oftentimes what it comes down to is just having that accountability and seeing what it looks like, and then motivating the team and getting them in, showing them the stats on a daily basis and doing all the things that you're doing right now. But this will allow us to see some movement. So, okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay, perfect. This is the kind of information that we are looking for. So is there a specific reason that some of these maybe are not all up to date?
Not sure. I'd have to ask why those are not all up to date.
Okay, understood. I
They're
would
being tracked.
definitely, yep,
They're definitely because we these are the things that we mention in the morning meetings. So
okay, understood. One of the things that I would or ask, are you guys currently doing a cash to target percentage? So okay, we do have that here. Wow, this
yeah, we
is
need to be
awesome.
doing it a little bit better. Yeah, we need to be doing a little bit better job of actually telling people where we're at.
Yep, understood. Um, no, this is great. This is awesome. Okay. Well, this is exactly what we were looking for. And what I want to kind of review with you, and again, I think you're doing a lot of the things that we would be recommending. And so what I want to show you is something that we roll out to other clients. And then they will oftentimes, when they have more advanced reporting like you do, look to first fill it out and have it be accurate, but then start to evolve it week over week to make it more impactful and relevant to them. So this is our cash flow report forecast that we do week over week. And this is something that we would look to implement kind of a leadership style meeting once a week at the beginning of the week, in which you guys set a plan for the following week and then review your performance for the prior week and understand what went well and what didn't go well and how is that changing. And I know you guys are implementing a lot of things, and I want to understand what does that look like currently in the business before I go through this and add just another tracker, another thing for you guys to do. I really want this to be something that's valuable and adds value to what you guys are doing.
Um, what it, repeat the question one more time.
Yes. So I know you guys are doing a number of different, you're tracking in a number of different ways, and you have very sophisticated tracking. This is going to be another way of tracking. The intention of this sheet is to get your team together to review what was prior week's performance, what is our anticipated upcoming week's performance, and how are we making changes to be able to hit target. So that's what this is gonna facilitate that conversation. My question for you is, are you guys having those conversations already, and what do they look like? So are you already meeting on a weekly basis to discuss historical and future performance, and how are those meetings conducted? because I don't want to just add something that maybe you guys are already doing, and I want to make sure that it's valuable. So
We definitely talk about those things. We have like a daily executive meeting. My CFO or fractional CFO has been a little bit more involved. Who would be like my accountant who does like payroll and is tracking all the books and all that stuff. Um, so I think we could just be doing a better job of getting the meat producers thinking that way, to be honest.
And I think that it comes down to those executives taking these top level KPIs that are here and being able to convey that to the team and say, hey, this is what we need to hit. I know that this is something Matt Hendricks, our VP of platform, does all the time, is he'll say, hey, we know that we need to deliver 40 clients in a quarter, and currently we only have 32 confirmed for delivery. Everybody needs to look at their schedule, see you can get pulled up, etc. Like, he knows that because in his leadership team meetings, that's something that they're looking at and they're vetting. What I want to say is that when we look at this cash flow forecast, what it essentially does, Andrew, is it ensures that week over week, we're building cash in the business. And if we're not, we can identify exactly where we're not building cash and why. So obviously, this is something that is a robust sheet to fill out. And it would rely more heavily on your financial stakeholders in the business to fill out. But it's where we look to start tying together some of those operational components, some of those sales components, and then we would look to have a weekly team meeting. The way this sheet is structured, I'm going to go through how it's structured, and then I would like to have a conversation with you about if we look to roll this out, and if we did, what would that look like? So let me explain kind of how the sheet works, and then we can have a more informed conversation. So what this is this would display all of the cash accounts in the business. So what is the total cash for the business as of today? Say, for example, this is a snap. So this is a snapshot. Let's say that it's filled out on the 24th, right? So today, then that would mean these cash balances are reflective of what's in the bank as of right now. That's going to give us our beginning cash balance. We are then going to use these columns right, or these cells right here, to predict what the projected cash balance is for a week from now. So for example, if we're filling this out for the 24th and we want to review this sheet together as a team on the 29th, then this is showing us all of the available, what would be the available cash on the 29th is what we're projecting for. And so to do that, we would need to know what is our anticipated collections. Our anticipated collections are, the sales target that we have for new cash collected. What are we expecting to get in terms of the FIP cash collected? What's all that cash that we're anticipated coming into the business? What are some of those receivables where maybe we have outstanding that need to be collected on? All of these things are going to filter from below into this cell so that we know exactly what we are anticipating to bring in terms of new cash week over week. These are then all of the expenses that the business is anticipated to pay over the next week from the 24th until the 29th. So this would be any accounts payable, so any vendors that you're working for, credit cards. This is probably going to be where most of the spending is done based off our conversations already. Personnel, so any payroll that's going to be going out, anything like that, when that's going to be. So again, this is only the expenses that are occurring between the 24th and the 29th, because we want to understand if we're going to gain cash. Are we going to have a net cash increase week over week? If we're not, then we need to understand why, and how does that change our targets? How does that change our team's activity? Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
this is how this is structured. This upper area is really supposed to be like a dashboard. It's kind of like a summary. Down below here, for example, you would fill out what are your credit card balances, what are the payments that are due, what's upcoming, so that we can fill this out more accurately. You'll have, business loans, accounts receivable, accounts payable. We can start to see what's past due, what's not past due. And one of the things I started to build out was a sales pipeline that we can aggregate all the information and we can quickly see, hey, what's the total contract value that was won? What is the initial deposit? What was the target? Like, again, this is all customizable. I'm just using it as an example, but we can start to see very quickly what is feeding into our anticipated collections And week over week, we can start to see, were we successful, were we not successful, and why. Off to the right here is a targeted cash collections. So what we would look to do is set a weekly cash collections target for the business. And then the business, you guys would track how are you performing to that target on a daily basis. And we can see that summarized. This is all put together so that we can start, if we started doing this on a weekly basis, we can start looking at the projection to actuals. We can start to see, hey, what was our projections from last week? So what did we project the 29th? What was that projected balance? And then when we start looking at this on the 29th, we can say, hey, how did this compare to what actually occurred, right? Our ending balance was $22,000 in this example, and now it's 31,000. We actually collected almost $9,000 more than anticipated. What was it that caused that? Was there specific successful action that was done that we need to do again? To give some examples, we've had clients where we've identified through this that, hey, they're hitting their sales target, but the problem is sales isn't communicating to accounting. And so the invoices are coming out 3 to 5 days late. So we're making the sales, but we're not getting none of the deposits. So we got to understand, like, what is it that's causing these things? And so tracking this would allow us to do that. Now, again, you guys are tracking a lot of things and doing it very effectively. And so I want to make sure this sheet is beneficial. I want to hear, do you have any questions, any thoughts, initial thoughts about this? And see what we can do here.
It makes sense. It seems like a helpful tool to contribute to things that we need to be doing better.
Yep. So with this, I recognize that obviously you're about to go to revenue essentials and you're about to be out of the office. But my question is, what do you believe your ability to be able to fill this out, your team's ability? And my thoughts at this point is that what we would look to do is we would actually look to set this up for the 29th. So we'd have this sheet completed on the 29th. And what we would do is I want to start meeting with you guys and hosting these meetings with this sheet completed, review it with you, and then we can start taking action together.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty confident in my team's ability to fill this out.
Okay. What are your thoughts? Because I think that between this and the daily cash, this daily tracker, honestly, this is a lot of really good information. And I think that there's going to be some key takeaways from the revenue essentials that will be helpful. But between that and what we're doing, we just need to start getting traction, right? We need to start getting traction to the targets, holding our team accountable to doing it. And once we've proven that our sales consultants, right, our new guys, that they are being successful, then I think we'll show that we have a good process to start hiring again, start bringing in people. Then, because then we have a proven system that says, hey, we actually can effectively hire and duplicate this system, right? Right now, we haven't proven that out yet. And so that's really what I think we want to be focused on. But just hearing any thoughts from you, what are you thinking on that, Andrew? Maybe this is something we could meet on Tuesday, give you guys the week and the weekend and Monday to fill this out, do it to the best of your ability, and then look to have a meeting with, you, potentially Paul, potentially Rod, those that you feel like you would want to be able to see this information. But specifically those who have influence over this, because I want us to start setting plans and intentionality into what we're doing and holding people accountable to them.
Yeah, no, I'm interested. It makes sense, and it seems like a great idea.
Okay. Okay. Well, then with that, what I will look to do is, and the other thing I want you to know as well is that once we give this sheet, my ask of you guys is that we would look to fill this out as it stands, for this next week. And then once we've proven that we can do it, once that's done, then we can look to augment the sheet. And I have many clients that will end up putting a lot more complexity into it, into what their weekly reporting looks like here. We've had it where we've built out, very complex sales trackers here. It doesn't have to be structured as it is. Once I send this sheet to you, I really want you guys to take ownership of it, as you have with so many other things, and really make this part of, something in your tool belt. But with that, what I'll look to do is send you this sheet in a follow-up email. My ask is, just as you guys have done, put this into your G Drive, share it with me so that this is a document that you guys own and we can work collaboratively and it's a live document. So just send that back to me. And then of course the team can look to fill this out. And we can go from there. And I'll put some instructions on that email to show how to walk through this. But with that, any questions, any thoughts? I see the gears turning and I just want to see if there's anything I can do to support you.
I understand what I mean, I think this is a good opportunity to fill all of this information in and just get a good understanding of where things are going. And I could probably get Gladys to do most of this. And she's like sick right now, but she'll hopefully feel better. But I could have her do this. And I would just have to get her some access to QuickBooks and a viewing access.
Absolutely. And one of the things I'll say too is just for your context and communication with the team, because I can imagine this could be overwhelming as well, is let them know that this is something that doesn't need to be perfect on the first try. And this is something that oftentimes takes 2, maybe 3 weeks for our clients to fully dial into. So I just kind of want to start that process. You guys are already doing a lot of really great things. And what I want us to do is start providing more strategic recommendations. Now that I have access to this sheet, I'm going to start reviewing it as well, see what additional call outs I can make, like the outbound calls, the amount of call time, and some of those other components. The other thing that I'm going to look to do is with the sheet that we have. So I don't think I went over this with you, but when we start looking at cash collections targets, so do you remember this sheet when we were reviewing this together?
Yes.
So what I'm going to look to do is I'm going to ask for updated financials from you guys so we can see what the most recent months look like. But then what I can do is I can put together a daily cash collections target. So let's say, for example, I know that this probably isn't exactly true right now, but I just want to give you an idea of what we'll look to put together so that the team has a target that is truly going to impact the business. And I know right now, it doesn't look like we have any costs of goods, so that'll be fine. So what we're looking at here is based off the prior year, but let's look at the prior 3. Let's do 6 months. What we can look to do is determine what is a monthly cash collections target. That is taking your break even, then adding in. So like, let's say, for example, we want to increase our monthly cash by 25%. What we're going to do is take this number here and multiply it by that 25%. Oops. And we can start seeing like, hey, what is the minimum target for the business need to be? And then if we're collecting cash Monday through Friday, then what that means is that for July, for August, we need to collect on a daily basis a minimum of $47,000 for us to hit that target for the business. Now, that collections target then becomes what we're setting here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we're going to start looking to tie together some of these things. And that's really the intention is we want to understand. And again, this monthly cash collections target becomes the minimum, right? This is the minimum target. And when we have a minimum target like this, it ensures that we're building into the business, right? We're building into success because if we make our break even the target, then right, there's no profit in the business. We're just covering our expenses. So one of the things that I would recommend is that, I will go through and establish this, review this with the team, with you, and we can look to start tracking against this and have that in here. I know that you have a cash collections target of 500,000 and the total FIP was at 1.1. And so, I want to align with these things. But what we would look to establish is what is the cash collections target? What is the low, medium, and high revenue target for the business? And how is the business trending towards this? I want us to start tracking these things and taking action towards them.
Cool. Sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay. Well, I know we're getting close to the top of call. I'm going to send that email. It'll come out probably in the next hour. I have a call I got to get to in the next 5 minutes. But is there anything for me on our side that, from everything we talked about, anything I can do to be more value? I know we'll have 2 days that I'll make sure to pop in person to talk to you during the breakouts. But anything that you
You're
need from me?
totally super valuable, man. I think this sheet is really awesome, and I think it's going to help. And yeah, I just want to get out of the revenue slump I'm in.
Yep. And I think that, again, I think it's going to be a mixture of, hey, what you're going to find out at the revenue essentials, but then also how do we get the sales operations dialed in? I think that that's really where we need support. So, and you guys are already doing a lot of great things. But with that, anything else for me, Andrew, before I look to let you get back to your day? I know you got to travel, but anything else you need from us, sir?
No, not at the moment. Thank you, though.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, with that, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Hey, see you, man. Bye.
See ya. Thank you.